Milk with a side of salmonella or E. coli sound good to you? I'm Jeanette, paediatric dietitian at Starting Solids Australia. It's recently been brought to my attention that some accounts are recommending raw milk consumption for infants and children and the general population, and I'm here to tell you why this is not something that's recommended in 2026. Firstly, when we talk about raw milk, we're not talking about raw from the bottle, from the supermarket shelf. We're talking about unpasteurized, unhomogenized milk in its most natural form. You probably hear most natural form and think this sounds like a really good thing. And this is what most advocates for raw milk will tell you. It's natural, it's unprocessed, it's the best possible thing for you. But what is homogenization and pasteurization? What are these scary words and why do we do them? Let's do pasteurization first, because this is some pretty basic shit. This is not big dairy, big pharma. Not pharma as in pharmaceuticals, pharma as in the milk in the cows farmers out to get you, or a scam. Pasteurization is just heating up the milk slightly, not even to boiling temperature, just to kill the harmful bacteria that can be present. The whole process lasts for under a minute, and let me tell you, farmers would probably much likely prefer to not have to do this process because it just adds extra labor to sell it to you for the same price. This is not a new thing. Pasteurization has been widely used since the early 1900s. It's actually been law in Australia since the 1950s, but before that, recipes would often state an extra step of heating up the milk to kill the bacteria before you used it. So exactly what bacteria are we trying to kill in milk? Well, let me tell you. If you think eating raw chicken is gross, you don't want to drink raw milk either. You've got all kinds of disgusting bacteria that can be present in raw milk. You've got Listeria, E. coli, Campylobacter, Staph, Listeria. You've even got Mycobacterium bovi, which for those of you who don't know, that's freaking tuberculosis. It was the leading cause of tuberculosis in Australia before pasteurization was made law in the 1950s. That's how we eradicated tuberculosis from cows. I accidentally said Listeria twice. Salmonella. Also got salmonella in there. We always cook chicken because we're worried about salmonella. It's why we heat milk. Salmonella. So some pretty nasty shit, right? I wouldn't want any of that. The risks or the complications that can arise from foodborne illness from these bacteria are anywhere from feeling a little bit unwell, vomiting, diarrhea, to things like kidney failure, death. Death! Like most things, the risks are worse with those with compromised immune systems or lower immune systems. And who has low immune systems? Kids, babies. So let's talk about the risks of pasteurization. Oh, that's right, there aren't any. We lose about 10% vitamin C content to our milk, but the rest of the nutrition content stays relatively unchanged. We are not damaging or changing the nutrition profile of the milk in any significant way, but we are making it a hell of a lot safer for our little people. Now, a lot of the advocates for raw milk will talk about the delicious creamy taste. I'm not going to go into that here because that's more related to the homogenization process, but we don't have time for that today. Now, foods to make them safer is one of the most basic interventions to reducing foodborne illness that we have. And if I had to put it into a very small summary, if you wouldn't give your little one raw chicken, even though it is its most natural, least processed form, don't try and apply the same logic to milk because it doesn't hold up.